Ma'am, I've actually logged in from my PC, so I'll look through this camera issue.
Do you have any device from where you can join in along with your camera?
No, ma'am, PC only.
PC only. So it doesn't have a camera?
No, ma'am, right now I'm turning it on, but I don't know why it's showing plain black screen.
Can't hear you. What?
Ma'am, there is
Mhm.
camera, but I don't know why it's showing plain black screen.
Could you just try to join again the class, maybe because some sort of issue is there?
Okay, ma'am, I'll try.
Hmm. Yes.
Ma'am, it's
Hmm.
not turning on again.
Okay, so no problem. All right. So has your have your classes started in your school for class 12?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. What chapter are they currently doing for biology?
Chapter 2.
Chapter 2, human reproduction. No, no,
Yes.
no. Sexual reproduction in flowering plants. Which
No,
chapter?
yeah, reproduction human.
Reproduction in humans. Okay. All right. So do you want me to start with that chapter only or the first chapter?
Ma'am, that chapter.
That chapter. Okay. Before that, can you quickly tell me what is the significance of reproduction? What is reproduction? Why is it needed?
Uh, Reproduction occurs when there is fertilization of male and female gametes,
Hmm.
and the fusion takes place, and then zygote is formed, and embryo is formed, and that in further turns into a fetus.
Hmm. And what is the significance of reproduction?
Significance.
Means, yeah, importance. Like, why is it
Uh,
important?
it is a normal human cycle, so
Hmm. Why is it important? It's important because reproduction ensures the continuity of life, continuity of species, isn't it? Then only like one species, for example, human beings are there. So that their population, so that their you can say species continue throughout. That's why generation after generation. That's why reproduction is important. Clear?
yes.
Hmm. Now see, okay. I'll be starting this chapter, human reproduction. So you don't write down anything right now. Okay, first you listen. I'll give you the time to write down. Okay.
Okay.
And other than that, if you have any doubts anywhere while I'm teaching, please feel free to ask. Okay. Anything that you want to ask. All right. So when we talk about human reproduction, so this whole entire chapter or this whole entire phenomena, it has been divided into all of these stages that you see right in front of you. First of all, there will be gametogenesis, which will be the formation of gametes in the case of males as well as in the case of females. Then insemination, a process wherein the male gamete will be transferred to the female. And then there is the fertilization, in which the male gamete will be fusing with the female gamete. After that, implantation will happen, which is basically all in all attachment of the zygote or the fertilized ovum to the wall of the uterus. Then that confirms pregnancy, and then the gestation period, which is the 9-month long period of pregnancy in which the whole entire development of the fetus will take place. And lastly, there is parturition, which is the delivery of the baby. So all of these things we will be studying in this chapter. But to begin with, first thing we have to study is gametogenesis. But in order to study gametogenesis, first of all, we must know the reproductive systems of the male as well as the female. So when we talk about the reproductive system of the male, so obviously it is present in the pelvic region, the pelvis region, and it includes a pair of testes, meaning two testes are there, and that is the primary sex organ. Do you know what is the meaning of primary sex organ?
No.
See, primary sex organ means that this organ will be responsible for the production of gametes. If it is the male, then the male gametes. If it is the female, then the female gametes. But the production of gametes will be the responsibility of the primary sex organ. So the primary sex organ in the case of male is the testes, and in the case of female, it is the ovum. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Hmm.
Ma'am, and one more thing. As we go, can
Yeah.
you explain using diagrams?
Yeah, definitely. I will. I will be doing that. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Hmm. Now, moving forward. So, talking about other than the testes, there is also the accessory ducts that are present. Now, accessory ducts will be responsible for, after the formation of sperms, that is the male gamete, that is done. Now, the accessory ducts will be responsible for the transportation of this particular gamete that has been formed. Other than that, there are reproductive glands associated with the male reproductive system that will be responsible for nourishment. It will be responsible for the release of the right kind of secretion. And then comes the external genitalia. Okay, these are the parts. Now we will be
Ma'am, is
studying
there any name for the accessory ducts?
accessory ducts. Yes, there is. Yeah, we will be discussing it. It's just the overview. Okay, it's not the whole
Yes, ma'am.
information. It's just the overview. Now, see. So when we talk about the testes, okay, wait 1 second. I'll show you one. See, and have you purchased your NCRT book?
Yes, I have.
Okay, very good. And you've taken PCB.
Yes, PCB plus computer science.
Okay, okay. And you live outside India?
Yes, Oman.
Okay. See, so when we talk about the male reproductive system, and I told you about the testes being the primary sex organs. Now, the testes, where are they situated and why are they situated where they are? First of all, the testes, they are situated outside the abdominal cavity within a pouch-like structure that is called as the scrotum. Okay, so the testes, it is situated outside the abdominal cavity. Now, normally, all the organs in general, they're supposed to be situated inside, isn't it? But why is it situated outside? There must be some reason for this very thing. Can you tell me what is the normal body temperature of human beings?
Uh, It is like 36.
37.
Yes.
37 degrees Celsius is the human, like normal human body temperature. Okay. But for the formation of sperm, okay, there is the need of a temperature that is actually 2 or 2.5 degree less than the body temperature. So, for example, if the body temperature is 37 degrees Celsius, so the temperature that is required for the formation of the male gametes, that will be 35 degrees Celsius. So obviously you can't lower your body temperature because our body temperature has always been maintained. So that is why, as an alternative, the testes, they are situated outside the body. Clear? This is the reason. So the
Yes, ma'am.
yeah. So the scrotum
But
is
in
present
case of a fever, does the temperature vary and kill the male gametes?
in the case of female.
Fever, fever.
Oh, fever. No, 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 that doesn't happen. Because even in the case of female, a fever, what happens is that a person, like fever is a mechanism of our body to combat diseases. So whenever we have any pathogen in our body, that's why we get fevers, because our body is fighting with. Okay. Only when the injury or the pathogen is targeted at the testes, then only the formation of sperm will be affected. And other than that, there are many other reasons for which it could be affected, but having fever or higher body temperature, that will not. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Any doubts?
No.
Okay. Now, moving forward. So, the reason the scrotum is present outside the body to maintain the low temperature of the testes. And this lower temperature is necessary for the development of sperm. For the production of sperm, we need a lower temperature. Okay, now wait just 1 second. Okay, so now if you see this side, this is the whole entire ultrastructure of the male reproductive system. Right now, we are talking about this structure wherein we talk about the primary sex organ, this part, right? The testes part. And it will be situated outside the body. Clear? And they are present in the pouch-like structure called as the scrotum. Okay. Now, moving forward, the process of formation of sperm, you should remember that it is called as spermatogenesis. Okay, spermato refers to the sperms and genesis means formation. So the formation of sperm means spermatogenesis. Now, when we talk about the dimensions and the shape of the testes, so the testes, they are oval in shape. The shape is oval and they are 4 to 5 centimeters in length and 2 to 3 centimeters in width or thickness. Now, since they are the organ, obviously they have to be covered by some sort of a covering. So the testes, they are covered by dense covering on them. And now when we talk about the internal structure of the testes, so, like each of the testes, they have 250 compartments, like tiny, tiny structures are there, like how I have drawn here. Like there are compartments. How many compartments? 250 compartments are there. And these compartments that are present inside the testes, they are called as the testicular lobules. Okay, lobe-like structure. So tiny lobes are called as lobules. So they are present inside the testes. Now, inside each of those 250 lobules, there is the presence of 1 to 3 highly coiled structures, which are known as seminiferous tubules. Is it clear this much?
Ma'am, so in each lobule,
Hmm.
there are 1 to 3.
Yeah, in every single one, meaning 250 are there. So each of the 250 will be having 1 or 2 or 3 highly coiled seminiferous tubules in them. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Hmm. Okay, one more thing. Do you understand the difference between covering and lining?
Yes, ma'am. Covering is what is the upper layer,
Huh.
and lying could be like within or upper.
No. Covering is when a layer is present on the outside. That's your correct. Okay, but when we talk about the lining, it's always on the inside. It's never on the outside. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Hmm. So when we talk about the seminiferous tubules, So those tubules are lined by two types of cells. Lining means this. For example, if this is one structure that I've drawn of the seminiferous tubule, so do you see these circles? So they are lined in it, not outside, but inside. Clear? So
Yes,
they are
ma'am.
lined by two different kinds of cells, and those cells are, the first one is male germ cells that are called as spermatogonia, and the other cells are called as Sertoli cells. So these two cells are present lining inside the seminiferous tubules. Now, the male germ cells forms the sperm, meaning the spermatogonia is responsible for the formation of sperm by the process of meiosis. So do you remember mitosis and meiosis from class 11?
Yes,
Why is meiosis called as the reductional division?
because it happens two times and then it gives
For, for what?
four cells.
Huh? Okay, four cells, but then again, how it becomes reduction if it is
Because
happening?
it, yes, ma'am, it goes from diploid to
Hmm.
haploid.
Yes, very good. That is the main reason it is called as reductional division. What is the difference between diploid and haploid?
2n and it's reduced to n.
And what is the meaning of 2A?
The chromosomes,
Hmm. What?
the chromosomes, number of chromosomes are reduced.
So what is the meaning of 2N? You are correct. The chromosome number is reduced in meiosis, but that's not what I'm asking. I'm asking what is the meaning of 2N or N? Hmm?
Is the number of chromosomes
Number
in
of
each
chromosomes.
the nuclei?
See, have you heard about this thing called as ploidy?
Yes.
Hmm. Ploidy, it is the property of having any like number of sets of chromosomes. Okay, so when we say 2n, that is diploid. So diploid means they have two sets of chromosomes. Okay, diploid. The first condition is diploid. So diploid means, first of all, it's 2n, and it means two sets of chromosomes. Meaning one set, just like how many chromosomes are present in us, humans?
46 and then it's reduced to 23
We
pairs.
have 46 chromosomes, right? So how do
23
we have
pairs. Yes.
23 pairs are there in our body. So pairs means one set of 23, another set of 23. So that becomes 46. So we have two sets of chromosomes, right? But when we talk about haploid situation, it is only the presence of one set of chromosomes. So that is why from 23 plus 23, it becomes 23 each. So four cells of haploid chromosome set. Clear? This is the major difference between haploid and diploid. So when I say that the spermatogonia, which is the male germ cell, it is solely responsible for the formation of sperms by the process of meiosis, means that the male germ cells, are they haploid or they diploid?
Diploid.
Diploid. And they will be forming the haploid sperms. Very good. Your base is very strong, I feel like. All right. Now, talking about the second kind of cells, that are the Sertoli cells. Now, Sertoli cells are important as far as the nutrition is concerned. Obviously, now since the gametes are being formed, right? The male gamete is being formed. So obviously it requires nutrition, right? Because to grow anything will require a said amount of nutrients. So that nutrient requirement is fulfilled by the Sertoli cells. Clear?
Yes, ma'am. Is the Sertoli cells the round ones in our textbook?
Hmm. If you see the ultra structure, I think I have a picture of it. No, not the ultra structure. Yes, see, the Sertoli cells will be the second layers of cells that will be present. Clear? Let me take out the NCRT diagram. Okay, wait, let's just move forward first. So, when we talk about the Sertoli cells, so their function is to provide nourishment. Male germ cells are responsible for the production of sperms. These two things are clear?
Yes, ma'am. And
Any
spermatogonia?
male germ cells are called as, like the other name for male germ cell is spermatogonia.
Yes, ma'am.
Then when we talk about interstitial spaces, now the region that is present outside the seminiferous tubule, that area is called as the interstitial space. And this particular space, it contains a lot of blood vessels, again, to supply nutrients and oxygen and everything. And the second thing it contains are the cells. The cells of the interstitial spaces is called as the interstitial cell. And you can also call them as the Leydig cells. Now, these Leydig cells are also very, very important because they are responsible for the synthesis and the secretion of the androgen. Androgen is the hormone of the testes and it is the main hormone. You might have studied this in 11th in that chemical control and coordination chapter. In that chapter, you studied that the testes, apart from being a primary sex organ, it also acts like an endocrine gland. Why does it act like an endocrine gland? Because it secretes the male hormone testosterone. Remember?
Yes, ma'am.
Hmm. All right, now moving forward, other than all of these things that we have discussed, there are immunologically competent cells are also present in the testes. Immunologically competent cells means those cells that will help in fighting of diseases and warding off the pathogens. Clear? Any
Yes,
doubts up
ma'am.
until now?
No, ma'am.
Okay, very good. Now, the next thing after this thing, the testes comes the male accessory ducts. Now the names of the male accessory ducts are retitestes, then there's vas efferentia, epididymis, vas differentia. So this is basically the all the male accessory ducts that are responsible for the transportation of the sperm after they have been formed. So the seminiferous tubules, this pathway, this pathway is so important. It's asked in questions many a times. Okay, to tell us the pathway of the sperm, like how does the sperm travel? So the seminiferous tubule, from that it opens into the retitestes. Then the retitestes opens into the vas efferentia, and then this part is present in the testes. Seminiferous tubule opening into the retitestes, opening into the vas efferentia. This part is present inside the testes. And
Ma'am,
then,
can you show diagrammatic representation of this?
yes, I will show. Wait, first let me complete this. After this, what happens is that the vas efferentia, it opens into the epididymis, then that opens into the vas deferens, which opens into the ejaculatory duct, and lastly through the urethra. Now, this part, which is the epididymis and the vas deferens, it's outside the testes, and the ejaculatory duct and the urethra, this part of the pathway is present inside the penis, which is the male external genitalia. Clear? See this picture. So these are the lobules inside the testes, right? All of the lobules that we have talked about, lobules meaning
Yes.
those 250 compartments. And then inside it is the retitestes. So once the seminiferous tubules are done forming the sperms, then it opens into the retitestes, which opens into the vas efferentia. And then what happens? It comes out. It comes out and opens into the epididymis, which is after that, right? Then to the vas deferens, this part, which will be connecting it and taking the whole entire transferring of the sperm to the urethra and or actually the ejaculatory duct. And the ejaculatory duct, it opens into
Ma'am,
this
where
part.
does the vast difference starts and where does the epididymis finish off? Which part?
See, epididymis has three parts: corpus, corpus, and cauda, which is not for you, but it basically, if you see this picture, this part, it has several different parts of the epididymis, which then opens into this part. when this curling ends, then the vas deferens starts. Clear? Do you see this
Yes, ma'am.
curling? When this ends, then the vas deferens starts, which is the long tube that will be taking the sperms ultimately into the ejaculatory duct that is situated like in the one common pathway, that is the urethra. Clear?
Ma'am, ejaculatory duct is present in the urethra.
Yes. Because
Is
in
it
the case of males,
between uh,
hmm,
bulbourethral gland and urethra? Or
see, bulbourethral gland and everything, they have a different position. Okay, some are at the base of the penis, some are at the adjacent area, so that they have a different position. But when we talk about the ducts, so like I said, the ejaculatory duct, that will be present in the penis. So penis is this part.
yes, ma'am.
So it will be present in this area. Okay, meaning in the external genitalia. Clear? And in the case of males, the pathway through which these sperms would travel or be ejected out of the body, and the pathway through which the urine will come out, the urine output will come out. So that is the same path. It's like one common pathway for both of these releases. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
So the seminiferous tubules, it opens into the vas efferentia through the retitestes. The vas efferentia leaves the testes and open into the epididymis, that is located along the posterior surface of the testes, meaning at the back hand side. So if you think about it, like this picture, they have shown showed this in the form of rear, like the front side. But this picture, imagine it like this. So that is actually the back hand side, this part. Clear? But it is like at the testes only, but at the posterior position. Okay. Do you know the positions in biology? Posterior, anterior, lateral, apical. Hmm?
I am familiar with them, but sometimes I get confused between posterior and dorsal.
Posterior and dorsal both are the same. Dorsal also means at the back. Posterior also means at the back. Ventral means the front, and anterior also means the front. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
And what does lateral means?
It's through the line, like front part.
Lateral means sideways. Lateral is the, I'll write this. The lateral is the sideways. What is the apical position?
The top.
The tip portion. Okay. So dorsal, then there is posterior. These two positions means the back. Then there is ventral. Do you remember what is the position of our heart?
Yes, is located between, not exactly to the left, but in between,
But what is its position?
slightly tilted.
Yeah, it is tilted, but it is ventral in position. And when we talk about our vertebral column, that is dorsal in position. Yeah. Then lateral position means side. Apical means tip. Yeah. Top or tip, whatever you call it as. Much is clear. Any doubts in the pathway of sperm?
No, ma'am, but can we go through it once again?
Okay. Seminiferous tubule, where is it located? First of all, tell me that. Where is
Mm,
the seminiferous tubule located?
like below the retitestis.
No, no, no. Where is it located? I'm not asking where it opens to. Where is it located? Remember, I said that inside the testes, there are how many compartments?
250.
250. And inside, and what are those compartments called as?
Lobules.
What lobules? Testicular lobules, right?
Yes.
Lobules can be anything. It can be present in alveoli also. So alveolar lobule, you have to be specific. And then inside each of those compartments, what are present?
Or two. I mean, one, two, three. No,
One, two,
the
three, seminiferous
tubules.
tubules. Yes. And yeah, which tubules again? Seminiferous tubule. You have to be specific. So the seminiferous tubule, where are they present? They are present inside the testicular lobules. And what are the seminiferous tubules lined with? How many cells are they lined with?
Sperm,
There.
spermatogonia, and
Yes.
then
And
inside it's is thoroughly
sertoli. Sertoli.
sertoli or
Yeah.
sertoli.
So the seminiferous tubules, they are lined by two types of cells. Now, the seminiferous tubules, once the sperms are formed, then it opens into the retitestes, which opens into the vas efferentia. Now, the vas efferentia opens into the epididymis, and all of these now open into the vas deferens, which goes to the ejaculatory duct and to the urethra. This is the pathway of sperm. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Any doubts?
No, ma'am.
All right. Apart from that, the epididymis, it receives a duct from the male like gland, which is called as the seminal vesicle. Seminal vesicle is the name of the male reproductive gland. So the duct from this gland, it also opens into the epididymis, so that the the secretion, the fluid like medium that is provided to the sperm, it actually is sent from the seminal vesicle. Okay.
So,
Now
ma'am, seminal vesicle is
it is a
producing.
gland. Yeah, it is producing, you can say, I'll not tell you the whole thing, but it is producing a secretion, a medium in which the sperms would swim after they are formed. So this medium contains a lot of fructose. Okay, so this medium is actually sent to the epididymis, so that the sperms that are traveling out from the seminiferous tubules, they are also getting the medium to travel through. Clear? Medium means a fluid-like structure, fluid in which the sperms will be present. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. But in the diagram, this seminal vesicle seems to open up. No, there. I don't see attachment to the
There's no
epididymis.
attachment of seminal vesicle to the epididymis. It's not attached. See, this text here says that the epididymis is receiving a duct from the seminal vesicle. It is ultra structure. They won't show you this in the diagram because they won't ask you this to locate this thing on the diagram. But it is like it should be known that the duct means a pipeline that comes out of the seminal vesicle. It gets to the epididymis, so that, for example, if this is the epididymis that is coming, okay, now this epididymis, it is receiving another duct like this, in which the secretions from the seminal vesicles are coming, like this. It's not
Also, it's
connected
a
to the seminal
microscopic
vesicle.
level.
Yes. It's not directly connected to the seminal vesicle. No, it's connected to the duct, so that the secretion could be released. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Hmm? And then the external opening of the penis, it is called as the urethral meatus. Now, the external genitalia of the male is called as the penis, and it is made up of special tissues that help in the process of erection. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Any doubts up until now?
No, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Now you can note down till here. Then we'll move forward.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, you can scroll.
You done? Which point are you on right now? Yes.
Ma'am, you can scroll.
Okay, just 1 second. Okay, are you able to see the screen? Hmm?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now see, this is just a few questions that I would like to ask so as to understand how good of a base that you have from class 11 and whether or not will you be needing any kind of, revision classes before starting class 12. So the first question, you just have to answer them verbally. You don't have to note it down. Okay. So the first question is, who proposed the cell theory? Who gave the
That
cell
is
theory?
not the discovery of cell, the cell theory, right?
Yeah.
I know this, ma'am, but it's been a while since.
That's why this test is for, right? It's okay. You can take your time, you can think and answer. It starts with an S. The name starts with an S. Clyden and Swan. Remember Clyden and
Yes,
Swan?
ma'am.
Hmm.
Squan.
Yeah. So what did they say in the cell theory? What is the like points of the cell theory?
That cell is the fundamental unit of life, and everything is made like you that is living is made up of cell.
And the third point.
Cell, like they form. I mean, they divide and they
Hmm.
also reform.
Yeah, this property is called as omnis celluli cellular, right? The cells they come from pre-existing cells. Okay, next question. Define eukaryotes.
In which there is absence of cell wall. No, ma'am. I mean presence of cell wall, and then all the cellular apparatus.
See, cell wall is not the criteria. Cell wall, yeah, there is cell wall, but in animals there isn't. So what is the meaning of a eukaryotic cell? Cell wall is not the criteria.
Cellular apparatus.
Hmm. Cellular apparatus, cell organelles. Cell organelles are there. And other than that, what else? The main feature you tell me? The main thing?
Ribosomes.
The nuclear has a nuclear, like the nucleus has a nuclear membrane surrounding it. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. What is the chief photosynthetic pigment? Explain its role in photosynthesis. What is the chief photosynthetic pigment?
Chlorophyll.
That's true. But which kind of chlorophyll?
Chlorophyll A.
Chlorophyll A. Why is it called as the chief photosynthetic pigment?
Because it participates most and it gives the green color of the leaves.
Hmm. Because it can absorb the wavelength of the highest. Yes, that's why it is called as the chief photosynthetic pigment. Okay, tell me the differences between plant and animal cell.
Plant cells
Hmm.
have chloroplast.
Correct. Then what else?
And then photosynthesis takes place.
They're talking about the cell, not the function, the properties of the cell. See, the plant cell, first of all, you can say that the plant cell has cell wall, the animal cells don't. Then the plant cells, they have chloroplast, the animal cells don't. The animal cells, they have centrioles present, but the plant cell don't. There are many differences. Okay. All right. Write down, give the differences between mitosis and meiosis. This too you can answer.
Yes,
Mitosis and
ma'am.
meiosis.
Mitosis, in the end, we get two daughter cells,
Hmm.
and meiosis takes place two times.
Hmm.
And in the end, we get four haploid cells.
What else?
Meiosis is also known as reductional division.
Then, what about mitosis? What it is called as? Hmm. Mitosis is called as equational division. Explain what is double circulation.
Double circulation is when the oxidized, the deoxidized blood, it pumps through the heart once, and then it is recollected. It is like goes to the lungs, and then from the body tissue parts, their deoxidized blood is formed, and then no, ma'am. Then it takes the oxidized blood from our
Oxidized,
lung.
no,
No,
deoxygenated blood and
yes,
oxygenated blood, not oxidized or deoxygenated.
yes, ma'am.
So, what is a double circulation?
In the double circulation, the circulation of the blood takes two times.
Hmm.
One is from entering from the tissue parts from the cells.
Hmm.
Deoxygenated blood enters the heart, and then it leaves the heart and then comes back, goes back to the lungs, and then comes back in the form of oxygenated blood and pumps once again.
Hmm. Okay. Okay, give the characteristic feature of the kingdom Monera.
Monera, this one I'm not sure about.
Monera, the members of kingdom Monera, they are what? They are this thing. Bacteria. All the members, they are bacteria. So they can be, you can say that they are the prokaryotic structures, right? They have, some of them have flagella present, some of them don't. Other than that, you can also mention in this that they are of variety of shapes. They have a cell wall made up of peptidoglycan. They are spherical, rod shaped, comma shaped, spiralum. Okay, all of these things. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Okay, dear. Any doubts from the class that I have taken today?
No, ma'am, no doubts.
All right. Okay, so we'll keep it till here only for today's class, and in the next class we'll continue. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, is there any way where you can share the notes?
Yeah, there is a way to share the notes, but I don't prefer doing that. I prefer you writing the notes. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
It's better when the student takes down the note, because in that way, like I'm teaching, you're listening, and then you're writing it down, then that makes it set in your mind. That's why I am more for the taking down the notes rather than sharing them. Once the chapter is completed, I will share the PDF of the notes. Okay. But during the classes, I will not share the PDF. You have to take down the notes. Okay. Anything else you want to ask? Hmm?
Mm, no, ma'am.
Okay, okay, then I'll see you in the next class. Also, before the next class, please try to fix this camera issue, because it is very important for you to keep your videos on during the class, okay? So that I can like see you also and make out how much you're understanding or not. Because without looking at you, I can't tell anything, right? So try to fix this issue before the next class, okay?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, one more thing. Like, I kind of emphasized a lot on diagrams because, ma'am, um, in the way our bio ma'am teaches is like all through diagrams. So she's been
See,
teaching us from 10th. So,
yes,
like,
that's true. But you will learn the diagram. But before that, you need to know the thing about it. Na? Then only you will understand the diagram. If I don't give you the theory first, how will you understand the diagram? So obviously, I will show you the diagram like I have shown in today's class. But before I will teach you the text about it, then the diagram, so that you can relate. Without showing you the text and just explaining, okay, this is the part, this is what will you understand that way, isn't it?
yes, ma'am.
So yes, I will show you the diagram 100%. But before that, you will have to understand the basics of it. Then only you will be able to relate and remember forever. Okay?
Yes, ma'am. But a lot of the things in the textbooks is like they are just written. Like, what our ma'am does is like she teaches like even the testicular lobules diagram. Like, she taught us, she drew the lobule, she drew that. So it's better if visualization.
I'm totally get. That's what I'm saying. Now, first I will teach you, then I will show you the diagram. This is how I will teach. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Because if you don't know the thing about it, then what will you do by looking at the diagram? First, you have to know the theory properly. And definitely, 100% diagrams are very important. Many a times, there are so many times in the questions to label them, to draw them, and everything.